For example, Uzziah, what's your passion now?
Pardon me? Say it
Like,
again.
what's your passion, Uzziah? What's something that you'll do, even if you do it for free or not, if you turn it into a business or not, you'll still do it.
Uh,
You just know everything about it, or
basically
you're
music.
great at it.
Basically
Huh?
music. Basically music.
No, not you, Zephaniah. I know you good with music.
I think say you
This
say
man
you
try to
got.
we'll get to you, goddamn.
Hey,
I'm talking about
hey,
I'm talking that man try to jump the line.
hey! Okay, I thought you said Zephaniah. You said Uzziah. Okay.
Good.
A passion that I have is obtaining new information and teaching it to the people, especially my people. I really could do that all day, especially an ear that'll listen.
Mhm.
Man,
So you can take information. You could do the hard labor to get that information. Then you know how to dumb it down and make it easy for people to understand, right?
uh,
All right. Check out this video, y'all. Watch this next part.
Perform supernatural miracles to proclaim the good news of salvation.
Watch this part right here. Because we talked about healing. Watch this.
The gift of teaching can overlap with the gift of pastoring. Every pastor must be a teacher, but not every teacher is a pastor. Those who have the gift of teaching commit themselves to God's word and can communicate the word of God in a way that's easy for people to understand.
You see that?
uh,
Yeah.
Didn't you just say that?
that's what I just said.
Come. Right?
Mm,
You could take knowledge and information and break it down and make it simple and easy for people to understand.
that's crazy.
Okay?
This video just blew my mind.
That's
Keep your mind intact, brother. Right? So you can take knowledge and information and able to teach the people. But first, before you teach the people, you got to know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Right? You got to do that yourself. All right. You can't tell somebody about gardening and planting herbs if you ain't never done nothing like that.
Salaki. That's what I was about to say earlier. I know how to grow the food, but the information about the healing process of the certain herbs and vegetables or whatever, I'm still learning about that. I'm still trying to learn about that, and
Huh?
so I
So
can
I
I can teach you how to grow it, but as far as the information about how what it heals, I don't know.
all right. So you see how the law works?
Yeah.
Uzziah got that information, and you got the other part of the information.
That's
Ah,
put it together.
Good. Put it together.
Ah,
yeah.
And y'all literally in the same place, same city. You see what I'm saying?
ah,
All praise.
But how would you know that unless somebody tell you that? A lot of times we might pray for understanding on certain things and we don't know who to go to, where to go to, not knowing is right in front of us. This person had the gift and knowledge of this the whole time. You just had to put two and two together.
Mm.
Okay?
ah.
Ah,
That's why the Lord said, prefer one another within the camp, within the church, within the congregation. Everybody has a gift and a talent. We all brought here for a reason to build the nation. But part of building the nation, you got to understand how to build, understand how certain things work. Herbs, medicine, we need that. Shit. You see what the hell is going on right now? Do you see what's happening? I'm in Chicago. And you know how hard it is for me to find watermelon with seeds in a
oh,
supermarket?
Man.
they ain't in the
Right.
supermarket, King.
Like,
You don't find them in there.
Right, they ain't in the supermarket.
huh?
You gotta go to a fruit market.
Right. Hey, and guess what? Even with that, the prices are jacked up. But you
Ridiculous.
know what I thought of? Shit. Guess what I thought of? I said, you know what? Why the hell I don't just take the fruit myself, get the seed, and I'll plant it my damn self.
Con.
Hey, that's the best way to go. Trial and error.
So like yeah.
God.
Salaki, that's
Yeah,
what
it says.
Salaki, that's just what I was saying. You know, I like, you can grow food in your house. Like
Right.
watermelon, peanuts, tomatoes, cucumbers and stuff like that. You grow in your own house. You know, just as long as you got a window that get that morning sunlight,
Mhm.
you know, you get you some topsoil and some compost, put it in a pot, a small pot, big pot, big bucket, or whatever, and you set it. You know that as long as you get that sunlight, it's gonna grow.
God.
Gone.
You see what I'm saying? And guess what? The Lord put us in a damn furnace to where we're back into a corner to where we got to make something work.
Ah,
You see? The Lord is literally pushing us towards keeping the laws and the commandments. He's literally pushing us to come back to our ways and our custom as Israelites. And what he uses is Esau as that sword on the left-hand side to push us back right to the Lord, even in our lifestyle, our customs, and how we do things. That's why he comes with the GMOs. He buys this land, this plot of land. He takes this. He takes all the seeds from the fruits and everything. He's an abomination on this earth. So we're supposed to be the total opposite. But sometimes with our people, we get too comfortable in our situation.
mm-hmm.
So the Lord got to put that fire in us to where now we start to think, we're like, damn, how the hell I'm going to get this done? How I'm going to do this? Shit. Money is tight here and there, situation, all this stuff, jobs, Man, you know what? The same food I've been buying, the fruits I've been buying that I love, why not take it my damn self and plant it and do it myself?
So like yeah.
Yeah, sis.
About I say about maybe 10 years ago. Now I'm in Louisiana, so about 10 years ago, my cousin and her husband and I, we just we grew watermelon in our front yard. When I tell you that was the best tasting watermelon I've ever had, listen, I have not had watermelon like that ever since
Mm.
then. I mean, the watermelon was so doggone sweet you could eat the rind. It
Mm.
was that sweet. We have not had any watermelon like that ever since
Ah. And you know what's funny, sis? Remember, whatever we put our hands to in righteousness, the Lord will bless. Why you think Esau got to use our people to do the oranges, the vegetables, and the fruits and everything? Because when Esau touch it, the earth ain't gonna give him that increase. That's why he chooses
then.
GMOs. But when we do it, the fruit tastes good, it's natural, more benefits because the Lord put a spirit behind it. Because the whole earth belonged to us.
So like here,
Go ahead, sis.
why do you think they put us into slavery? They know they cannot listen. They know they cannot do half the stuff we do. If you think about inventions alone, Black people have invented more, not just Black Hispanics and Native Americans have invented more things than a white person ever could in life.
Oh.
So that they know exactly why they were getting. Listen, okay, in the book from Babylon Timbuktu, there's a part in this book. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, bring that out. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let's just say we did everything.
Yeah. Like they knew the Hamites knew exactly they could easily tell the difference between us and them because we were a whole civilized nation. I mean, we had every job known to man that we were doing. We had our historians, we had the blacksmiths. I mean, if I could find it in my book, I thought I had a tab on it, but I don't think I do. So like, I'm gonna look for it and I'll try to bring it back. But yeah,
The water. But sis, I know you're talking about. I forgot the name of the number of the page, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Every single thing. You talk about a jewelry maker, language interpreter, masonry, kings, princes, Everything you could think about, we covered. And it said, et cetera, et cetera. You see what I'm saying? Now, why the one thing where I wanted to get his lesson towards us having a Q&A, right? Search people's talents, see what everybody can do, right? Because listen, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem was shy. The only way we're gonna get things done is through us relying on each other through Yahweh Shem was shy. Khan? We a lot of times with Israel, we looking for this nation to help us. Let me get Slaki. Let me get Lamentation chapter 4. That's why the Lord said, gather together, Zephaniah 2:1, O nation not desired. Right. The Lord told us to gather. Not gather with the heathens. The Lord told us to gather. The most undesirable people, which is us. Why? Because when we gather, we start to keep laws and commandments of God and show love and compassion towards each other. We'll start to learn about each other and understand each other. Start to build a community and understand that the gifts and talents that we've been looking for is right in front of our faces the whole time. It's us. Don? It's been us the whole time. And the Lord set up so many situations to where you try to go outside the circle for help, and the Lord ain't gonna let it happen. Why? Because the only way you're gonna get help to achieve to the next level is relying with your brothers and sisters around you. And that's what the Lord pushes for teamwork. God? Learn the people that you're building with, that you're dealing with. Everybody have a gift and a talent. All right? That's why communication is very important. All right? Let me get Lamentation chapter 4 and verse 17.
Come, it's the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. Well, no, I haven't said come. Verse 17. As for us, our eyes are yet filled for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
You see? In our watching, we're watching for these other nations to save us. We're watching for Kamala Harris, who's not our people, to save us. We're watching for Donald Trump, who's not our people, to save us. It's not going to happen. All right? That's why the Lord said in Deuteronomy 17 and 15, if you vote for a king, it must be one of amongst your people, your nation. You see what I'm saying? When you're building, you must build about your nation, your people. But a lot of times, the problem with Israel is that we see what everybody else got, and we want to do what everybody else does. We want to go to them. We want to help build with them instead of building what we have amongst us right now. God? We're all here for a reason. Let me give you another one. This is a good one right here. Because boy, let me see. I think it's First Samuel's. Yeah, let's get First Samuel's. Let's lock it. Yeah, let's get First Samuel's chapter 8. Can you hear me?
Got
it.
First Samuel's chapter 8 and verse 6.
Here's the book of First Samuel.
Start at verse number 5.
This is the book of First Samuel, chapter 8, beginning at verse 5. When all I have to say, Verse 5. And said unto him, behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in the ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
Look at that, man. Our people wanted a king like the other nations.
Man.
America.
You see what I'm saying? Our people wanted to be like the other nations. They wanted to follow the blueprint of the other nations, not knowing that we created the blueprint from the Lord. We don't need nobody else. It's us. When we come together, stick together, work together, understand each other, build together, the Lord is going to be happy and blessed. He's going to bless it even more, increase it even more, because that's what he wanted us to do from the beginning. learn to keep his commandments and do it as a nation. Khan? Read on.
Verse 6. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord.
You see? Because Samuel was the one he was of the Lord. He was a priest of the Lord. But the Lord, the judge for Israel was actually how about Shemel Shai? By us keeping the laws and the commandments. Every other nation had their own king. Our king was literally the most high God in Yahushua. Read on. And Samuel was the representation on earth for the Lord. Read on.
Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee. For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
All right.
8.
So now, read on. Watch what happens.
Verse 8. According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me, and served other gods, so do they also unto thee.
Right? So if we forsake the Lord to serve other gods, you see, we want to be like the other nations. Right? Now jump to verse number 11.
Verse 11. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you.
Now, let me show you. There's nothing new under the sun. You see how America operates with their military, the drafting and all of that? Right? Read on out.
Come. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen. And some shall run before his chariots.
That's speaking about the military. Right? The king that's going to be ruling over Israel, because they ain't want to listen to God, he's going to take your sons and force them into his military for himself, for his benefits, for his own army, personal army. Same as America does today. Read on.
Verse 12. And he will appoint him captains over thousands, and captains over fifties, and will set them to ear his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instrument of war, and instruments of his chariots.
You see? And this is all for the king. Same as America. Their greed, their hunger for power, drafting people left and right, throwing people in the military, finessing people, promising them this, promising them that, help you with a good education, all of this stuff. And you go to the military, you fight for them, and you die on the front lines.
You're right.
Read on.
Verse 13. And he would take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers.
And to be what?
And he would take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers.
So what's important about this? He's going to take your women, your wives, and your daughters to be part of his system. Right? So now what happens? Look at the modern day today. A lot of the women in America have more respect for their bosses at their workplace than their husband at home.
Salaki. You know, when I was growing up in the 60s and the 70s, you know, a lot of the corner stores was called confectionaries. Wow.
Bakeries and all of that, yeah.
Yeah, bakeries and all that, yeah.
Yeah, but they're doing it all for who? For the king. You see? They're going to take all their resources and everything that they got, and they're going to put it onto one man. Then he becomes what? A dictator. Instead of spreading it all out throughout all Israel. Read on.
Verse 15. Slaki, verse 14. And he would take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. 15.
Right. So all of this is talking about Saul's going to come in and oppress Israel because Israel wanted a king like the nations. So Saul's going to be that person to symbolize the other nations oppressing his own people. Because who does that to us today? Esau.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Esau does that to us. That's why it says your woman's going to be cooks and here and there, this and that. They're going to be working for the kings, for the presidents, for the Edomite society. Hold on, King. For the society and everything. Instead of worried about building their houses, right? And losing respect of the men, of their husbands. This is all part of our punishment. So in order to reverse this, we have to know the laws and the commandments and start to apply them and keep them. When we keep the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, we're declaring war against Satan. We're declaring war against this American system. When we as a nation of Israel come together and put our resources together, put our ideas and talents together and build amongst each other, we're literally destroying their kingdom. We're literally destroying their kingdom. And we're building ours through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. But the only way we're going to get out of this situation is by learning to come together. And everybody has a purpose. Somebody says Salakia, Zephaniah?
Yes, yeah. You know, it's like some of our own people, you know, oppress us as well. You know, a lot of these so-called government officials, that's our people, it's like they're how would I say it? Is they're into this white supremacy. They more for sort of white man than they are for their own people. You know, I done seen so many videos, you know, these so-called government officials, you know, our people, that's, you know, basically they speak against our people. I don't know, you know, I know they know what they're doing, you know, but it's just sad, man. It's just damn sad.
Hey, and Zephaniah, you're right about that, because remember, who's the one that's controlling it behind the scene? It's the Edomites.
Edomites, exactly.
Right? They doing divide and conquer amongst our people. Like we talk about P. Diddy, even Elder Zabak brought it out about P. Diddy. A lot of people don't talk about Clyde Davis. Right? Also with Diddy, because we're not justifying Diddy, he wicked as hell.
Yeah.
But the thing with us in HOI, we want to get to the source. We want to get to the root of the problem so we could deal with the whole matter. Don't just look at the surface, get to the root of the problem. A lot of people just look at the surface part. They just talking about Diddy. That's it. No, get to Diddy, get to the person behind Diddy, get to that person that's behind that person too. Get all of them. Right? Get all of them. And the elder was talking about it. Diddy was suing one of the drink companies or something. And that's their way of trying to get back at him. You know? But he's also getting his judgment. Go ahead, sis.
Oh, I found the page. Page 90.
Huh?
I said I found the page in Babylon Timbuktu. It's page 90.
It's page 90?
So this is what it says. It says the Black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them. This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization. Because of the stability of the Black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autonomous, I don't know how to pronounce this, sorry, population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian state were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leatherworkers, potters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmiths, horticulturists, etc.
Sloppy. So
God.
you said it was page 90?
Yeah, that's
Page
page 90,
90.
Babylon and Timbuktu.
Okay.
And sis, the water sis, y'all see that? We was doing everything. God.
God.
And that's what so many talents that we have, gifts from the Lord that we have. We're a nation of ourselves. We was able to do everything. That's what he talking about modern day terms with Black Wall Street. If we can do that during that time, what about now? Right? What about now? Huh?
Come.
And plus we got the knowledge of the scriptures. 2024, there's technology, information, resources. We got knowledge of the scriptures now, and we already got these talents. So what about now? These are gifts of the Lord that we had the whole time. You just got to recognize them. You just got to awaken them and learn to use them and put them together so we can function even more.
Salakia.
Go ahead, sis.
When we were little, my father's mother, right? They had a tree. My aunts, my grandmother, my aunts and them, they had a tree in their backyard. There was a juniper tree, and they used to make wine from that juniper tree berries. The berries used to fall down off in the tree, and they would take them and make wine out of them. But the main thing I wanted to say was I really wish that we would do that. I have always wished that we would do that as a nation now, that we would just get together, because if they come for us, I really just feel like we should be together. I feel like if we banded together, they couldn't stop us. Even if we had to die, it'd be a lot easier on us knowing that we was all together and that we had the strength, in our numbers, and that we could like lean on each other, remind each other why, and what comes next, what's going to happen, that even if they take in this body, they can't take our souls.
Come.
Now, let me tell you this about that as well, too, sis. That's why we like to have these type of conversations. Because first off, Elder Zabak always said, you could have land, you could have resources and all of this stuff. You can have gift and talents and all this. But if the Lord ain't with you, Negro, you finish.
Come.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you are not keeping the laws and the commandments of God, right, sincerely, you can have the biggest land on the earth. You can have the biggest fruit tree on the earth. But if the Lord ain't with you in the spirit, you are physically done.
Salaki.
And spiritually done as well, too. Right?
Salaki.
But hold on, King. With us teaching edification, make sure brothers and sisters taking notes, writing down these scriptures. Make sure you keep with your prayers. Keep with your fasting once a week. Staying consistent. Not just doing that, not just being an Israelite when everybody's around, but also we talking about when you're at home, when people's not looking. Are you actually keeping the laws or not? Right? Because a person can only fake the funk for so long. But in due times, we will all know who the Most High is dealing with and who the Lord is not dealing with. But it's about you being sincere, growing, learning, applying. Con? Because, for example, in the book of Joshua, chapter 6, the Lord told them to go into Jericho. And when it comes to the golden treasures and silver, take only those and bring it back to the temple of the Lord. Don't take nothing else. Now, Joshua had his big army. Joshua was a mighty soldier, warrior in general and everything. Right? All Israel, they ready. Praying, fasting, staying in the spirit now, keeping the Lord's commandments. They go to war against this heathen nation, and they lost 36 men off rip. 36 men from Israel died. And the people were confused. They lost the first battle. They're like, what's going on? Everybody was willing to gather together and go to war against the other nation. But what happened? They lost. Why? Because there was somebody among them that was sinning the whole time. And the Lord took the hedge of protection away from his army on the battlefield. And most of the people didn't know what happened. He told them all, don't steal, don't take nothing from this nation. Just take the gold and silver and put it in the treasure and bring it back to the temple. Everything else got to be destroyed. Some knucklehead amongst them didn't listen. Achan, he took a garment, took money, gold and silver, and hid it under his tent. So he stole and lied, and he had covetousness. And guess what? He jeopardized the whole nation on the battlefield. Khan?
So was that Saul?
Huh?
Was that Saul?
You said what?
I said, was that Saul?
No. That was Achan in Joshua chapter 6.
Oh, Joshua. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Salakia.
Hold on. Zephaniah says Salakia, and then, because I don't want to be on here.
Okay.
The next talent we got pertaining to a musician singing, right? But Zephaniah, go ahead, King.
Like in the I grew up in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, 80s. And like in the 60s and the 70s, most most of the neighborhoods they had fruit trees. And like in the 80s, when the crack came in, that's when Esau started first the police and everything. They start setting fires to a lot of houses that was, drug dealing houses or whatever. And when they burnt the houses, they burnt the fruit trees and stuff like that too. And so in the 90s, a lot of the houses that was, set on fire, and the city had a lot to do with it too. The city, workers, they would come and set the house on fire, and they set the fruit trees. So most of the fruit trees was, they was burnt. So we lost a lot of fruit trees and stuff like that because, in the 60s and 70s, especially the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, it was fruit trees all through the neighborhoods. And and now, you look in the neighborhoods now, it's no fruit trees, no grapevines. We had great because, most of our fathers, they used to make their own wine and everything, homemade wine. It's not like that anymore, because there's no more what, you don't see no grapevines, you don't see no cherry trees, no peach trees, no plum trees. We had, because the house I stayed in, we had 2 pear trees, grapevine. We had 2 grapevines on the fences, and we had plum trees. We had a cherry tree. I mean, everything is gone now. So you can't get no fruit off. And it was a park, Lafayette Park, right down the street. It has so many fruit trees, crab apples, and everything. You don't see none of that no more. It's just like Esau destroyed everything that we had that was convenient for us, to stay healthy and preserve our life or whatever. It's everything is gone, So it's like don't nobody have vegetables. So we used to grow our own chickens, our own goats, and you don't see that in neighborhoods no more.
Hey, and Salakia, that's why lessons like this is very important, because it's all throughout the scriptures, right? Nothing new under the sun. The same thing that happened in Egypt, the Lord protected us in the land of Goshen.
Con.
We was gathered amongst each other, right? And the Lord was bringing judgment unto the Egyptians. This is the second Egypt. What is about to happen again? The Lord is about to do the same exact thing again. Destroy the Egyptians around us, which is the Edomites and all these other nations, and have us gather and protect us amongst each other. Keep that hedge of protection around us, right? But pertaining to music, let me get 1 Samuel chapter 16. Right? We talked about herbs, medicine, like gift of healing. Right? Also part of healing could be used in many aspects. It can also be used when it comes to music. Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
I just wanted to say, when I was saying that we should all gather together, we do have to use wisdom though, because we don't want to be all grouped up in one place. But I think we should spread it out. I think some of us should be, there should be a group here, a group there, and another group here, but all Israelites, all keeping the law. But don't never like everybody be in one spot, because that's too easy for them to come and wipe us out.
Yeah, but remember, sis, the Lord is with us, who can be against us.
That's
right. What I'm saying? But yeah, you make a great point as well, too. That's what we're talking about. Hold on, Ak. Hold on. Hold on, damn it. Right? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about with the gathering. It's very important. Make sure you gather people in the spirit. But part of that as well, too, is also with the gifts that the Most High blesses with. We all supposed to look out for each other. That's part of the laws, keeping the laws and the commandments. Right? And yes, sis, I agree with you with that as well, too. But let's make sure our spirit is right first. Let me get 1 Samuel chapter 16. And let's get verse number 16. Yeah, Dietrich, every day you can bring it out, King. Dietrich, you there? I think you got dropped off. All right, Khan. This is 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 16. When everybody have it, say Khan. It says, let our Lord now command thy servants, which are before thee, to seek out a man who is a cunning player on the harp. And it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from God is upon thee, that he shall play with his hands, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. So what happened in this time? The Lord put an evil spirit on Saul because he was moving wicked as hell, and the Lord was judging him, right? But the Lord is cold, because the Lord put, for Saul's prayer, the person that was going to answer the Saul's prayer was a man called King David. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now look what happened. Saul was praying to get this evil spirit off of him. And the Lord answered his prayer temporarily with another person. Khan? So look what happens. Then, verse 18, then answered one of the servants and said, behold, I have seen of a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning and plain, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and a comely person, and the Lord is with him. Right? So now if you go all the way down to verse number 23, speaking about David. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hands. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. Right? So Saul was praying for that evil spirit to come off of him. And the Lord answered his prayer with another person. Khan? And his prayer was answered by a musician who knew how to play music, who understood music, knew how to play the harp, and that was David. So a lot of times, certain things you pray for, you expecting the Lord to answer your prayers one way, when he's going to show you a whole different way you'll least expect.
Khan?
Khan?
Yeah, Khan.
That was David. And David, as a musician, the music that he was playing increased your frequency, positive, exhortation, make you feel good, make you feel positive about yourself, make you want to do more, make you want to feel better, make you want to feel optimistic, right? Not in the mindset of a killer and violent and all of this stuff and F this and F that person and hose this and hose that, right? Because of the vibration of the frequency of the song.
Salakia.
God.
So lately, like my last 2 weeks, I kind of been, I don't know, I just ain't been in the spirit lately to hear the word or read. I'm just gonna be honest. It's like it's like I've been trying to take in the word. I usually get a feeling or something, but it's like usually sometimes when you yarn, your ears clog, and when you yarn, they unclog.
Yeah.
It's like I've been having a clogging in my spirit, or like within my ears and my chest and my mind. It's like everything been clogged lately. So, the spirit today just kind of like, I don't know, like I'm on Instagram scrolling and got to talking about the bells and how the vibrations of the bells can kind of like heal the body and stuff like that. So I go on YouTube and I play some bell music and some harp music. And I really I can't even make this up, man. I get the yarning first. I just kept yarning, then my eyes watering up. And then it's like I'm starting to feel like my ears opening up and as I'm reading the word, it's like it's doing something to my spirit in the midst of me listening to the bells and the organs playing and stuff like that. So it's like I said, I haven't been in class in 2 weeks. So today I'm back in class, I put my mental was stronger today to get things done that I need to get done. And my spirit just kind of like been like on a rejoice path today, So it's just all praise to that, man. Cause I'll be wanting to try that. Like when I see if this music stuff really works, and it really does work, man. I definitely can agree to that.
Bashem Mashiach Yahushua King.
All
right? Hold on. Let's get First Chronicles 15 and 16. Let's get First Chronicles chapter 15 and verse 16. That's why music is important as well, too. This is all part of our culture. You find all of this in the Bible. Khan? We love music. Esau knows that. So what does he do? He get rappers that's going to put out music that's going to bring our vibration down. Bring our energy down. More towards the ways of destruction. Towards the ways of drugs, mollies, sex, right? Strippers, all of this stuff, killing, violence, drill music, all of this stuff about destruction. And it's messing up our spirit. It's messing up our thought process, our state of mind, and it's also putting demons on us. That's what's happening. That's why these artists is making millions of dollars. Because their job is supposed to what? Destroy your spirit. Keep you at a low energy, low state of mind. But these underground rappers, it's hard for them to make it out. It's hard for them to make mainstream.
Because saying enough.
Yeah, because what? The goal is for Esau, the Lord is using him as Satan, as Lucifer, to destroy your spirit. It's a battle. It's a constant battle. You want to win this war, you got to fight back. Even in music, you got to fight back. Instruments, beats, and righteousness is a war. Everything is a war. Genetic war, financial war, war pertaining to the fruits and vegetables, the foods, bio war, musical war. Everything you're doing, he's going against you. Esau's going against you. So guess what? If these rappers got gifts and talents as musicians, what about you? Use your gifts and your talents to battle this wickedness. Stop holding back. Stop hiding your gift and your talent. It could be used for the ministry. Praising the Lord. All right? Some music behind. Keep everybody upbeat, man. Praying for the Lord, man. Throwing up the Lord's Prayer. We got some music behind it. You know how everybody going to be feeling? Energized and everything. Look what the church is doing. They taking the gifts and the talents that they got and using it in wickedness.
Mm.
Some of the best singers come from these churches. Best singers. And they're like, damn, girl, you were natural born. That's natural born talent. That's a gift. They take your gift and they use it for wickedness. Now they got you singing for white Jesus. They got you praising that damn white, blue-eyed, demon, blonde-haired devil, jack of all trades, demonic serpent. And you singing. You taking your gift and your talent and you just singing to this white man. Praising him.
Goddamn sissy.
Right. When the gift that the Lord gave you was used to praise him, was used to uplift your people in righteousness. You ever heard a sister sing so beautiful, you just, your whole damn soul just shake. Then they got tears coming down your eyes, man.
So many sisters, man.
Right? She's singing and you just like, even the hardest dude, the most toughest dude, he like, shit, nigga.
You start sweating.
Right. He's like, God damn. You just feel good, like, jeez. And you just very mesmerized. Like, what the? That's a gift she has. Imagine she's using that to praise Yahweh Shemel Shai. Feast days. Sabbath classes. Song like that, man. Everybody gonna be feeling good. You're gonna be playing that song everywhere. See what I'm saying? Remember, David was a rapper too.
Yeah.
David was a rapper.
Salakia. What they call rappers back then?
It's like a psalmist, musician. Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, psalms mean songs. Psalms mean songs. The book of Psalms is the biggest book in the Bible. So those are all songs.
Salaki. I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all younger than I am, but back in the '60s, it was a group out. It was one of the first rap groups out. It was called Rappers Delight. I don't know if y'all ever heard of them.
Heard of them.
You heard of them? Rappers Delight, yeah. They was one of the first rap groups out. Back in the '60s. They rapped about mostly damn can't find the right words. They rap mostly about revolution. Yeah.
You talk about Flavor Flav and them.
No, not Flavor. Way before Flavor Flav and them. Way before them.
Okay, Rappers Delight, they did. I thought they were just singing like the hip, the hop, the hip, the hop, you don't rock and you don't stop. I thought that was what.
The Rappers Delight was out back in the
Sugar Hill Gang.
In the late.
The Sugar Hill Gang.
The Sugar Hill Gang was after them. Sugar Hill Games was like in the 70s.
Rappers Delight, but I thought
Rappers Delight was like, you can look it up on YouTube. They still got these songs up on YouTube. You can go to YouTube, and they was back in the 60s and in the late 60s, like 67, 68, 69, 70, early 70s, and they had a lot of revolutionary raps and stuff like that, Matter of fact, they had a song about the revolution. It's because a lot of guys they using their songs that the revolution won't be televised. They had a song about revolution won't be televised.
Now I remember that.
Okay, yeah. That was way back in the 60s.
I didn't know that was from the 60s though.
Yep, that was from the 60s.
Yeah, I was saying pertaining to music, even with the Feast of Trumpet that's coming, right? The trumpets, blowing of the trumpet is like blowing a horn, chauffeur blowing the trumpet physically, right? That's for the different music, the different tunes as well too. And music in its frequency could be used to heal, also be used to destroy. Right? That's why we got to know these things. And then also with music, let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 12.
1 Corinthians chapter 12.
In verse 29. Dietrich, you still there?
I can read if you need me to.
All right, come. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 29. Wait, everybody have to say con.
Say 29?
Con.
All
right, bring it out, King. Whoever got it.
1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 29. Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles?
All right, read on.
Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues?
Now hold that right there. Do anybody know when it says do all speak with tongues?
Different languages?
You got to say Salakia.
Salakia, my bad.
Right. What does it mean?
You speaking, talking about different languages?
Okay. Different languages, right?
Okay.
Now, do y'all see how many of the northern kingdoms, the influx of northern kingdoms from New York to Chicago to LA and all over America, that's coming in? Right. Especially Detroit. Remember when you pulled up on that Northern Kingdom spot? Hey, remember how brothers must have felt because we didn't understand what?
That language, the tongue.
Exactly.
Okay.
How did you feel?
Man, honestly, felt like we was wasting time.
Con. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You felt like you was muted.
Mm-hmm.
Because what? We didn't understand the language. We didn't know how to speak the language. Right?
But I was talking again. Cap, soon you got to speak in that language to him.
God. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The gift of tongue. That's a gift. Understanding different languages. How many people on this call understands more than 2 languages or speak more than 2 languages?
I don't.
Nope, not I.
Not I. For real.
Not I.
Not I.
Anybody?
I do.
Huh?
I speak 2 languages.
God, how many languages you speak, God?
Spanish and English.
Who's that? Shemai Gabar?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we kidnapping you, brother. We bring you right to Chicago right now. We are bringing you right to Chicago right now. You speak English and what?
And some Spanish. I'm moderate.
Okay, God. So, ¿tú hablas español?
Claro que sí.
Claro que sí, el poquito.
Más o menos. Yo tengo 2 niños de mamá mi esposas son dominicanas. Entonces mi niño encuentra bien habla con español.
Sí, así es.
Y'all gonna have to teach me that, man, so I can, because I write a lot of Latin music, and y'all have to teach me that so I can put some Latin music on, some of these songs I be doing, man. It's a Latin. Hey, man, shoot.
So, do y'all see that example?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
I'm getting more into learning our ancient language first than anything else.
Come.
That's part of the gift of tongues as well, too, sis. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of us got these gifts, but it's just that we neglect them sometimes, not knowing. We could speak a different language and we know how to pronounce the words. And we think that's normal. That's not normal. We expect everybody else to pronounce the words and make it clear and understand his language or that language. That's not normal. That's part of a gift the Most High gave you. You just haven't tapped into it. God? You just haven't exercised it. Like you do weight training, push-ups, sit-ups, dips, and all of this stuff. You're exercising your body. Start to exercise the gifts that the Lord gave you. Start to exercise your spirit. Grow. Increase it. Practice on it. Take time on it. God? Because check this, Paul had the gift for tongues as well too. He spoke Hebrew, he spoke Greek, right? He spoke different languages. In the book of Acts chapter 2, it speaks about the disciples, they spoke all different languages. Now, why do you think the Most High gave people the gift of tongues? So they can know how to connect with different people in their languages, right? The Lord already knows Northern Kingdom's going to be oppressed and speaking Spanish from the Spaniards. And he know we're going to be forced to speak English. And that the French is going to oppress Levi, the Haitians, and force them to speak French. To do what? To try to divide and conquer all of us. But now, if you learn the other tribes' languages, you know how to communicate with them. God? And that's bridging the gap and gathering back again together. And that's part of you understanding their walk of life. Taking time to learn their language, how to connect with them as well, too. That was part of Paul's job. That's why he was able to travel all around the place, speak to different people, different nations, and all of this stuff. Most of them speaking about Israel. So it was lost in their customs and their ways, and they were speaking different languages. And part of the gift the Lord gave them was the gift of the tongues, the gift of languages, so he could connect with the people. And also learn their culture, learn their history, and all things. God?
Yeah, God. So, you know, and I understand exactly what you're saying, because over here where I'm staying at, it's a lot of Issachar that's, you know, that works over here. And, you know, we try to communicate, but we don't understand each other's language.
Exactly.
And you know, so if I can learn Spanish, you know, then I can communicate with them better, because there's a lot of them that works over here in this building, you know, doing carpet, you know, and doing a lot of painting and stuff. And plus in the neighborhoods doing a lot of, you know, the landscaping and, you know, you know, cutting the grass and stuff. And, you know, I'll be seeing them, you know, they always, you know, like wave their hands up, speaking everything, but I don't understand their language. You know, they don't understand mine. You know, some of them do, but some of them don't. You know, but the majority of them don't, you know, so.
Now check this. Elder Zabal of HOI, he knows Spanish clearly too as well. I think he know about 3 or 4 languages. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that can be used as an asset with communicating with different people and interpreting.
Right.
You see? They even got professions for that.
Matter of fact, you was here when we went over in Southwest Detroit, where, you know, all over the Mexican village. You was with us there, yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about.
You was talking to the brothers over there, you know, to speak Spanish.
Yeah. And we can learn it.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So there's apps for it too as well. Duolingo, you know, all of this stuff. You can learn Spanish. You can learn different languages. You can pick up on it.
Right, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So now, we could pick up on these things, right? And it's all for the benefit of the Lord. It's all for Israel at the end of the day.
Right?
Gift sounds fluent and may speak in an older dialect. The words that are spoken for personal edification and enlightenment. And this is the only gift that is not always for the edification of the church. For more information, read 1 Corinthians chapter 14. The gift of interpretation of tongues should be paired with tongues. If a church member speaks in a tongue, there should be a calling for an interpretation. Those who possess this gift are not people who have studied that language. They are people who are given the translation of that tongue directly from the Holy Spirit. The gift of
that's the funny thing about this, because they tying this in with the wop bad boo bad, the boom bam boom. That's what they talk about as a gift of tongue. No, we understand truly the gift of tongue is understanding different languages.
Different language. Correct.
Huh?
Correct. God.
All right, let's get to the next one. What is that? Gift of leading. Okay, this is going right here.
Must be planned through much of teaching, commit themselves to God's word, and can communicate the word of God in a way that's easy for people to understand. The gift of leading is to have the ability to inspire others to the point of them following the leader willingly. Those who question if they have this gift need only to look behind them to see if others are following their example, and the direction they go must be planned through much prayer.
Now, you see, it said the gift of leadership, right? The gift of leading, that's the gift of the Lord, right? Person that take actions, right? Person that considers everybody, that is not selfish and worried about just themselves, but is worried about the whole nation, right? Moses had that gift. Con? Moses had to lead by example. Judas Maccabees had that gift. He had to lead by example, right? Now, everybody is not a leader pertaining to specific ways like that, but that don't mean you're not important, right? Everybody's not a good organizer, right? Some is better than others, but that don't mean you're not important. Everybody has a specific gift and talent that Most High bless you with. For example, look at camp. Let's say we got a good teacher, all right? And we got a person that's good with the camera, and we got a good reader, right? But if nobody know how to organize the camp and the lineups and put everybody in a specific spot in a location and make sure everybody's on time, what's going to happen?
It's going to fall apart.
It's going to fall apart. Let's say the teacher camp is at 7 o'clock and the teacher comes there at 3 o'clock. The reader comes there at 9 o'clock. The cameraman comes there at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on?
It's chaos.
It's chaos. The teacher comes there at 3 o'clock. He's teaching, but there's nobody to read. And then he leaves at 5 o'clock. The reader comes at 7 o'clock. He's reading the scriptures, but there's nobody to break it down. And then he leaves at 9 o'clock. And then the cameraman that's supposed to come to record everybody comes there at 12 o'clock, and there's nobody there. God?
Yeah.
So you need somebody that organizes.
Exactly.
Right? Same as with Moses and Aaron.
Salaki, so you need you need a leader, you need an organizer, you need somebody, like you said, somebody to read. You need, I mean, it's so many different, like, okay, what's that scripture is, I think it's in Corinthians, where it's talking about the bodies, the certain
that's 1 Corinthians 12. That's the one we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Right.
That's basically what you got to have that.
Right.
Or, the body won't function.
It won't function, exactly.
It won't function.
Right. For example, Shemai Gabar, you still there?
Khan.
Shalom, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Khan, let me ask you a question. What do you think you're great at? Like what's your passion? What's something you know that the Most High bless you with that you know everything about?
Oh wow. Athletics. I'm very fond and historical with athletics and things like that. And I'm good with history overall.
You're good with history, right?
Khan.
Yeah, I believe that because you pay attention to details when it comes to all things.
I try my best to, I put my wisdom of living life and also with my studies and try to put bring it to the present time,
Come on. So it's like historian, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right. And the thing with a historian pertaining to history as well too, you must know the past, you must know the timelines. You must know the current events, the times that you're in right now. You must know certain situations that happen to create certain things all throughout history.
Okay.
Right? You must know location, geographical location, maps, all of these things.
That's a heck. That's Salaki. My bad. That's a hell of a gift, man. To know all of that.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a heck of a gift.
Yeah, and like the sister said earlier in the book of Babylon and Timbuktu, we were historians as well too.
Come on.
A lot of these leaders, like even Napoleon, he was big on history. Alexander the Greek, he was big on history. Because the saying goes, how can you know your future if you don't know your past?
Exactly.
You know? How can you know where you're going? You don't know where you're from. You know? So they read books about people past. They read books about biographies, all of this stuff about historical figures during their times. That's what happened with Napoleon. Even in the movie, I check it out, I could see it. He was studying about the Egyptians. And that's why Esau hates us as Israelites, because we study our Bible, which is also a history book.
Gone.
Gone?
Gone.
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 So yeah, Shemai Gabar, get some studying going on. Look up some books on historical stuff, send them out to the people.
Gone.
Gone.
Definitely, yeah. I have to get more depth with the history of the scripture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, send them out to the people. Get your studying on pertaining to that, and even pertaining to all of this, all these talents and gifts, passion that brothers and sisters have. You can also turn these into a business too, and it could benefit the nation. All right.
Gone.
Locations, understanding different places and their history about them. Like me, I just came from Rwanda about close to 2.5 weeks ago, and learning the history about that, about the genocide that was happening over there, and how the history of the Belgium, the French, and also the German, and how they took the same blueprint they use over here on us in America of dividing, conquering, and it did the same thing over there in Rwanda. Right? The same exact pattern. It did the same exact thing. In Rwanda, they do the same exact thing to us as well, too. Yeah, took some pictures of the museum and all of that stuff, man. And I'm like, wow. But it says in the scripture as well, the book of Sirach, a man that traveleth, you get much experience. You're seeing different things for yourself. You get more wise. You know? But yeah,
So like,
man. Go ahead, King.
What part of Africa is Rwanda in?
It was like southeastern part.
Hmm.
And you know what's funny? I found out that any of y'all seen the movie The Black Panther?
Yeah.
Remember where they called the place Wakanda?
Mm-hmm.
They actually get it from the word Rwanda.
Okay, so that was like what's that movie? The Woman King. It was like based in it's so-called based in Rwanda too, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I gotta see. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
so. I think it was like based in Rwanda. Your Rwanda. Yeah, I can't. It starts with R. Rwanda. Yeah.
Salakia, just like Hotel Rwanda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rwanda stuff, that was Hotel Rwanda. Yeah, I actually went there too. Physically to the hotel. Yeah. Yeah, literally went into the hotel and seen all the information, the history about the place and all of that. And it ties in with history, And I'm gonna tell you something about history. Listen, man. The more information you know about this world, and then you tie it with scriptures, the more dangerous you are to Satan. The more dangerous you are to Satan. That's why King James was a danger to Satan, man. Because he was studious. He knew about culture. He knew about history. He knew about languages. He knew about nations of people, how they operate. He knew about Esau and these other nations, how they think. He knew about their history as well, too. Knowing history could be used as a weapon.
So is that why when people say, you said something about King James, is that part of the reason why people always say, like, what Bible you read?
Yeah.
King James, or I heard he was this, or I heard he was that.
Yeah, you know why? Because people don't know history. Because if they would have known history, They would have known so many books and information about King James, also known as the King of Hibernia. Right? They would have known about him being the King of Scotland. First King of England, the one that united the people the same way like King David did. And about his mother, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of Scott.
Salaki, you know, like most of our people, you know, they hear about, you know, as far as the Bible is concerned, they get it from hearsay. It's not like they do any research on what it is. And then, you know, if you do any research on it, when you find out this information, you know, it's like stunning to them, and they really can't believe it. But you know, our people, you know, they hear, you know, other people talk about King James was this and King James was that, and then when they find out it's totally different from what they heard, it's like it's shocking to them that they have to gainsay it. You know, it's like it's like I don't know, because I mean I had spoken to a lot of people, you know, and they tell me King James was gay, King James was white man, King James just when you break it down to give them, you know, the facts, you know, give them you know, you give them the facts, you know, you bring it to them in a book or whatever, and they don't want to believe it, you know, because they you know it's like every all the information they get is like what they heard, not what they read. Our people don't read. Our people read, man, you know.
And our people don't do research. They don't want to study. Our people don't want to study.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But a person that love history is a very powerful person.
Exactly.
Because they understand the past and how we got over here, how we got to our time right now. So they understand how the world works and where it came from before to what it is now. And the people of history, they write down recordings of records. That's why in the book of First Esdras, when it was talking about Ahasuerus, the book of Chronicles, right? Every nation got their own book of Chronicles. Every heathen nation got their own customs and book of Chronicles of their forefathers and their achievements and their wins and their failures. That's their records. So Ahasuerus knew about the book of Chronicles of the Israelites and our customs and our past kings and everything. So he knew how to deal with us. Same as the Egyptians. They knew how to deal with us because of our history. That's why we know how to deal with Esau, because of his history. God? We know not to trust him.
Because if you don't know your past, you ain't gonna know your future.
Exactly.
And if you keep doing the same thing over again, you will keep getting the same results.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
God.
God.
All right. So Shemai Gabar, man. Yeah, get him to them histories, Zach.
Definitely.
You heard, King?
Definitely. I'm trying my best to really get acquainted with the One West doctrine more, and I know that's the only way to really, you know, identify the scriptures in depth, really. So I'm really want to get, you know, more in depth with the doctrine more, and be able to understand the identification of the scriptures. You know.
Yeah, just continue to grow, King. Keep increasing, continue to grow. Let me get 1 Corinthians 12:9. So we're about to wrap this up at 11 o'clock. Basically 8 more minutes, and we're gonna close out. First Corinthians 11:9.
Like that's 11:9 or 12:9.
Slakia 12:9. 12:9.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it out when you got it, King.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 9, all that have it, say kind. To another faith by the same spirit.
Right. Now hold it. It said to another faith by the same spirit. That's a gift. to have faith, to have belief. Let me get 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 5, when you have it, say time.
Con.
When I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which dwell first in thy grandmother Lois, and thy mother Eunice, and I am persuaded that in thee also.
All right, read on.
Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of God, which is in thee by the putting of on my hands.
Look at that. So who is Paul speaking to?
Oh.
What's the name of the book?
Timothy.
God. What did he tell Timothy? He basically told Timothy, now I know where you get your gift of faith from.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It came from your grandmother, passed it on down to your mother, and now you got it.
Mm.
God?
Okay, I got you. Con.
You see what I'm saying? Hold on, sis. You see what I'm saying? The gift of faith, everybody don't got that gift of faith. But it's shown in the scripture, Timothy's grandmother had it. Then it got passed down to his mother, and now he has it as well too. So these are things that we have in our families that we don't even recognize or think about.
Oh.
Some of the gifts and talents that our families have, our great grandmother had it, our father had it, our grandfather had it, and now we got it. That's a gift.
Con.
God? That's a talent. That's a gift from the Lord. It's passed down through your family, but it's your job. What makes you different from the rest of your family? You have the true knowledge of the scriptures now. That's what makes you different.
Con.
So you're not supposed to neglect the gift that the Lord gave you. He'll make it so obvious even your mother got it, your father got it, your grandfather got it, your grandmother got it. But it's what they did with it. Now, you might have the gift of faith and be in a Christian church and believe God, but guess what? You just don't have the right knowledge. But you still have faith, but you're just missing the right knowledge. You see? You have the zeal of God, but you're just missing the right knowledge, information. Con? It's where you put that gift at. Same as a drug dealer. Huh?
Sorry about that. I was just there thinking about my granny, and I thought about my mom, and I thought about me when it came to faith.
You're just missing the right knowledge, information. So now, check this. Same as we say with a drug dealer. A drug dealer, listen, man, a damn drug kingpin, he has the gift and talent of organizing, the gift of understanding business and money and all of this stuff, leadership and all of that. Now his product is what? He's selling drugs instead of selling stuff to benefit people, books or whatever. A drug dealer could take his product of him selling drugs and change that into what? Herbs. That people can eat to benefit them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Because he understands the blueprint
of
business. It's just that you just got to take that same mindset and change the product. That's it.
Yeah, you're right.
Take that gift that the Most High gave you and put it into something positive and righteousness for the Lord. And watch the Most High touch it and bless it even more.
Man. Boy, I got a lot to talk to.
Yeah, that's what made Malcolm X so powerful. That's what made Fred Hampton so powerful. Because they didn't just neglect people. They understood the people and took what they already had. You can't destroy what somebody already has. It's already in them. You can't destroy that. It's already in them. Take what you have and transition it towards righteousness. A lot of these gang members, a lot of these blood gang members, GDs, all of this stuff, and BDs and all of that. They got that warrior spirit. They warriors by nature. So what the devil did, he presented them something in wickedness. They want a family. They want to belong to somebody. They want to belong to a community, right? They want to be loved. They want to have a woman and grow and have children and a big family and all of that. They want to provide for their family, for their people. But guess what? The lifestyle that they're in is in wickedness, but they still have that warrior spirit. And what if we would have took that spirit and put in righteousness for Yahweh Hashem? You might get a King David. You might get a Judas Maccabees. You might get a Nehemiah. Khan?
I get an Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Oh, man.
We have the gifts, we have the talents, we have the knowledge. We're just putting it in the wrong direction. And that goes for everything. Herbs, languages, gardening, singing, business-minded, art, painting, food, making food, chefing it up. All of this stuff. These are all talents of the Lord. Exhortation. Whenever you speak to people, they just get amped up. They get hyped up. Look at these coaches. Look at the video Gabar put last week about that coach, 12 minutes, speech he made. And you wonder why Judas Maccabees had the men hyped up in the battlefield, ready for war. Because he had the gift of exhortation. All right? Y'all seen some of these movies where the king or the military general, he makes that war speech and all the men get hyped up? Hey, ready for war.
I see a lot.
What the hell just hit them? Huh?
I done seen a lot of them kind of movies.
Yeah, they don't know what the hell. They go from low morale and next thing they hype and they ready for war. They ready to fight against 1,000 men. They don't know what the hell just happened. That's a gift. Learn how to tap into that gift and use it in righteousness.
Khan.
Somebody said Salakia. I think it was a sister or somebody.
I want you to pull Romans 15:4 because it goes directly with what you're
with
talking
history.
about.
Huh? With history, right?
No, just in general to what you were talking about.
Khan, let's get Romans 15:4 because we're about to close out. All this is for our learning's sake. The Bible is a blueprint, man. And that's part of us having that faith. Like Timothy had that faith from his mother and his grandmother. I would say for some homework for everybody that's listening, YouTube, Zoom, whatever. Take some time, reflect. Speak to your parents, speak to your friends, families, whatever. Search your family history. What gifts and talents that they had that you look at as something normal, not knowing is a gift from the Lord. What can you do with that? How can you maximize that for your How about Shemel Shai? Some people might be good at business. All right, come on. Shit, we need it as a camp, business. Some people might be good at numbers, banking, all of this stuff. We need all of that. But how can we know you're able to do this or able to do that if we don't speak about it? God? Right? How can you know? Let's say we asking about, man, we need to get land. We need to get land. Listen, man, I am not going to no dude that don't know nothing about gardening, don't know nothing about seeds, don't know nothing about cultivation, don't even understand the soil, don't even know which fruits to plant and all of this stuff. I'm not going to you, man. I'm sorry. The scriptures even speaks about that. Don't talk to a man of war if he a coward. Don't talk to a person of business if he don't know anything anything about business. Don't talk to a person of hard work if he's lazy. All right? You want to go to those that know what the hell they're talking about, what they're doing. God? Hey, do y'all blame me for that? Or am I bugging or?
Sir.
I'm bugging.
Right? Because if Esau asks you, you want to get this job, where's your resume?
Order.
And he check your resume. You applying for a job as a damn security guard, and your ass is scared of combat.
Come.
You in the wrong field, buddy.
Come.
You talking about you a top flight armed enforcer and all of this stuff, and you know you applying for the military. You scared of combat. You scared of blood. You scared of war. Nah, man, you in the wrong place.
For real.
You know, you scared of hand-to-hand combat, dude. Stay behind the desk. Stay back. Work on the papers.
Sure.
You see it?
You know, everybody got a job to do. Everybody got an office. Find out what is yours and get to work so we can get the hell up out of here. All right. I know somebody said Salakia. Oh yeah, Romans 15:4. Let's get that real quick first.
Yeah.
Go ahead, King. Bring it out where you got it, King.
The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. When everybody have it, say, Khan. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Khan.
Verse
Everything
5.
we just talked about throughout the scriptures, right? This is all written for our learning. The Bible is a blueprint. Read through the scriptures again. Read through the Bible. Read through the stories. And understand this is us. But now we got all the information. We got all the knowledge. We got all the different examples. Look at Judas Maccabees. When it was war happening against Nicanor and he was back to a corner, guess what he did? He bowed down and prayed to the Lord to get them out of the situation. And he literally told the Lord to basically do the same thing he did for Hezekiah, to do it for him. What did the Lord do for Hezekiah? 2 Kings 19:35. The Lord sent one angel to wipe out the Assyrian army, 185,000 men. Judas Maccabees prayed to the Lord to remember the same thing he did for Hezekiah, to help Israel in that time. Guess what the Lord did? He answered his prayer, and he did the same exact thing. Brought an angel, and the angel with Judas Maccabees and the Israelites was on the battlefield whooping the Grecians' ass.
Salaki.
They had an angel on the battlefield with them. Go ahead, King.
Salaki, that's something I really need to get into. Far as like, I know a lot of scriptures as far as like us getting ourselves together and everything, but as far as the history of the our people, back in the Kings, the book of Kings, Judges, Samuel, getting into the history, Joshua, that I need to, get more study into that, and probably need more help, and somebody, helping me out, in those scriptures. So if I start making phone calls, y'all, hey, I need to understand this, hey, give me some answers, man, because because I've been reading, some things, but I just don't understand what's going on back then. So
hey, just understand, Zephaniah, we here.
Okay.
That's what it's about as well, too.
Okay.
King?
Done.
All right. Let's get what was that? Romans chapter 15:4?
15:4, yeah.
All right. So this is all for our learning's sake. Judas Maccabees understood history. All our forefathers understood history of our scriptures in our Bible. Right? And now look, we got the full Bible. We got the Old Testament, Apocrypha, and New Testament. So we're supposed to learn from this and know how to dictate and direct ourselves in righteousness in these times pertaining to the Lord and the scriptures and history. Khan? We got to learn from this and apply it. All right.
Con.
Look at the Black Panthers. Look at Malcolm X. Look at Martin Luther King. What was the one thing they was all missing? The full knowledge of the scriptures.
Exactly.
That's what they was missing. So we owe it to Yahweh Shemel Shai. We owe it to our parents, our forefathers. They say our ancestors, to overcome everything that we're going through right now. And we're left behind right now because the Lord is using us to create something even greater. To create something even greater. And we can do it. Let me get Exodus chapter 35. Let me see. Let me get Exodus chapter 31.
31.
Yeah, let me show y'all something. Let's get Exodus chapter 31, and let's get verse number 1.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 31, verse 1. When all have it, say, Con.
Con.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bazaleel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah.
Right? So there's a Judite, right? The Lord used Moses to call this man out. Read on.
Verse 3. And I have filled him with the Spirit of God, in wisdom, and in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship.
Right? Now, read on.
Verse 4. To devise cunning works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass.
Now,
Verse 5.
hold on. Well, read that part again, Ak.
To devise cunning works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass. That brother got some knowledge.
Exactly. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
what this also ties into? Right? It's like the Lord put that spirit on you of seeking knowledge and information, studying. Right? But also, you ever had this happen to y'all? Y'all just had an idea that just popped in your mind out of nowhere?
Con.
And you're like, what the hell?
Mm.
But it's nothing about that idea that you can't do nothing else until you get that idea on paper.
Con.
No matter what you try, you go to sleep, you're thinking about that. You wake up, you're thinking about that. It's something in your back of your mind is popping up right in front of your mind.
Mm.
Man, I have that thought so much.
Con?
Con.
Guess who's doing that?
Con.
It's the Lord.
Lee.
Con?
Con.
Read it
Salakia.
again. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead, sis.
I have had so many inventions, but have not put them into the manufacturers didn't know how to get them to the manufacturer, didn't have the money to do the trademark. Then when they came on television telling you how to do the trademark, I was kind of like the wicked servant, scared they were going to steal it and all that kind of stuff. And then I look up and somebody else ended up with my idea.
Con.
Yeah.
That has happened to me so many times.
Man.
Hey, sis, let me tell you why. Because guess what? The Lord was trying to show you to create that, and you was BSing. You was scared.
Time.
Right? So guess what the Lord showed you? And he wanted you to see it specifically. You don't want to do this? I'll get somebody else to do it.
Con, that's what happened.
And you going to feel it. Boy, you going to feel it.
And also...
Hold on, sis.
Salakia.
That idea that you had probably made that person a millionaire.
Yeah, Con.
It did, right?
There's several of them that's out now, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know the ones where the mops that's on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
My son's father used to fuss at me all the time because I would always put a cloth down and not something that I was going to reuse, but I would always put that down and I would wipe the floor with my feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I always said I should make something that's connected to shoes that you could mop with. And then, but I never did. I even wrote it down. I even put it down on paper, but I never did nothing with it. Next thing I looked, somebody else had done it. I told my
Now,
aunt one time, I said, all the time when we're scrubbing sometimes with those gloves and everything, those scrubbers come out our hands. I said, I need to make some rubber gloves with the scrubber made into the glove. I didn't do that. Somebody came along with that.
And
I
did
made another thing where the baby can't fall off of the bed because the baby is connected to you. Where you won't roll over on the baby. And I think so, I'm not sure, but I think somebody might have done it, but I'm not sure. But I told that one to somebody, and I think they went away and did it. I'm not sure. I would really have to look in that and see. But anyway, um, there's several inventions that I've had, and I do music. I do music. I write songs, I write raps, and I sing. Been singing for years and writing for years and years and years. Poems and songs. And because I'm always in survival mode, I don't really have time to like go in the studio. I don't have money to go in the studio. So a lot of my stuff is probably gonna get stolen, because I just go online and just put it out there.
sis, let me tell you this. Get Proverbs 8 and verse 12. The
Slack.
Lord said he didn't give us the spirit of fear. This is what I'm talking about. All the inventions, we made it. We created it. The Lord gave us that thought process. It pops into our mind. For example, I know this one brother, he never made a garment before, but he prayed into the Lord to help him make a garment. The man said all of a sudden, a garment popped in his mind, and he could not get it out of his mind until he put his hands towards making the garment. He made the garment, made the armbands, made the mitri, and he was just shocked, like, what the? And I'm looking at him. He had the Passover. I'm like, who made that garment? He started laughing. He said, I did. I said, what? He said, yeah, like I literally prayed to the Lord, and the Lord just had this garment come into my mind. And I said, damn, all right, let me do it. And he did it. And it manifested from his mind and thoughts, and he literally made a garment. So now, anytime he wants, he can make a garment because he has confidence that he made one before. And this time, guess what? It's not just going to be a regular garment. He's going to make it better. He's going to get better at it. He's going to pay more attention to details with it. He's going to increase it more. Right? Proverbs 8 in verse number 11.
Proverbs, say it again. Proverbs what now?
8 and verse 11.
Proverbs 8 and 11. Salaki, and when I get this, I got to talk to the sister about something too.
Right? Proverbs 8 and 11.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 11. When all heaven say, Khan.
Con.
Verse 11. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it.
Right? Read on.
Verse 12. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions.
Look at that.
Mm.
You see? Wisdom, because of that wisdom, now, sis, you start thinking about some witty inventions that people never thought about. The Lord put that in your mind to create stuff like that. Khan?
Yeah.
But then he also showed you, if you don't make that, then guess what? I'll give that thought to somebody else. They're going to do it. That's part of everybody being unique. Right? Nowadays, everybody want to copy everybody else. But what about ideas you got? You might have some ideas that the world is waiting for, that people need.
Yo.
You know? And the Lord could bless you, make money out of it, here and there, this and that, but it also helps benefit everybody.
Con.
All our inventions we made, the iron, the elevator, the heater, the AC, the bus, cars, iron board, everything we made, the comb, every invention we created was to help better everybody else, to help better everyone's life.
Con.
So Esau create a situation and you could have the answer for the solution to a solution.
Salakia.
Go ahead, King.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got some people who scared to be on the spotlight, right? So they don't mind being behind the scenes. These are your editors, your ghostwriters. They
Huh?
scared to be in front of a concert and stage with all these people. A lot of them could be introverts. They not extroverts, right? But they'll put the work out there, the written content, the format. And you got a lot of these stars or celebrities. They may not be creative, but they not scared to go out there and perform. So those two working together, those are also talents. You may not have that spirit to go out there and stand bold, but you're behind the scenes with it. Like I said, ghostwriting, bringing out content, and then somebody else is bringing your works into fruition. I yield.
Con. And then you also got producers that know everybody gift and talent and help bring everybody together.
Right.
Look at RZA with what is it? The Wu-Tang Clan,
Khan.
right? RZA's an okay rapper, but he's a great producer. He's a great organizer, and he's the leader of the Wu-Tang Clan. But everybody look at Method Man, they look at Ghostface Killer, look at ODB. Everybody got their own style. But
Con.
RZA is great at what he's great at,
Con.
and he does many things. Con,
Con. So like
Khan.
go ahead, King.
piggybacking on what the sister was saying, as far as the music, growing food, and something else that she said, that she mentioned. But anyway, as far as the music is concerned, music, I've been doing music since I was 14 years old. I'm 67 years old now, so music is, one of my biggest passions. Food, growing food is, another passion of mine. So I mean, we can, as far as me and her are concerned, we can exchange some ideas as far as music and, food is concerned. Because the music I write is music, it's inspirational as far as, Israel is concerned. Uh, Other words, as far as it's educational, it's inspirational, educational, and it's basically a lot of music I write is about vengeance, towards our enemies and stuff like that. But as far as basically my biggest concern is surviving. So the food that we eat, and everything. And she was talking about that, as far as the food is concerned. If we can get together on that, I don't know what state she's from or whatever. We can talk about that. We can, get together on ideas of, growing foods. If she knows what foods heals what, I don't know. I know about growing the food, but as far as what foods heals, certain, diseases or infections or whatever. I don't know about that, but if we can get together on that, anybody in the body that knows anything about that, we can talk about that. Get information. Because it's a lot of people that's coming into the body that has certain illnesses, hypertensions or whatever, that we can help heal them infections or diseases or whatever, So if
Con.
yeah,
Con.
I'm willing to join into anybody that know. I know how to grow it, but far as like I said, far as what heals what I don't really know about. So if
Yeah, like
anybody,
that knowledge.
I know a little bit about it. I still got to learn a lot more, but I know
Okay,
pretty
con.
good bit about herbs and stuff and
okay,
the different foods and everything. Are always in tune to learning different things about what heals what, and they also have an app that I
okay,
want to get whenever I get settled. That you can take this app once you download this app, but you got to pay. And when you
okay,
scan certain herbs, because we're gonna have to learn if we ever get tossed into the wilderness or led to the wilderness again in the second coming of Yahweh,
right,
we're gonna need to know different herbs and stuff like that.
got
But there's this app they have, and that you scan the herbs and it tells you what that herb is. So those
got
are
Mm,
things that we might need to just like try to take advantage of while we can.
con.
exactly. I understand exactly. Because
Con.
like I said, I know how to grow the herbs, I know how to grow the food, the vegetables and everything, but I just don't know what these different herbs and vegetables heal.
Right, and that's what I need help with. I need help with the growing part. What to do. Even though they have a lot of information online, it's nothing like hands-on and somebody that really knows what they're doing. They really like show you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Salakia. Like a person that has knowledge and expertise on that as well. Right.
God.
Yeah, because we're about to close out, but I'm a definitely Tapala. You got a Facebook? Oh yeah, I do got your Facebook. I should remember that. Yeah, I'll connect y'all. I'll connect y'all so we get that going.
Okay.
Don?
God.
Okay, God. Um, let me see.
I'm sorry, somebody called me away for a moment.
Don.
I didn't hear
I
what
was
was
saying with
said.
the herbs and growing and all of that stuff and planting, gardening. I said I'll
Mm-hmm.
connect y'all with that. Most I will.
God.
Time.
Yeah, because I got your Facebook as well.
Okay.
We're about to close out. So let's get Romans chapter 12 and verse number 5.
Romans 12:5.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 5, and everyone have it, say con.
Con.
God.
Verse 5. So we, being many, are one body in Christ, and everyone members one of another.
Right. So we being many are one body of Yahweh.
Mhm.
All right. Read on.
Verse 6. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or
God.
ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching.
Right. So it said he that teaching ministry, also prophesying. For example, let's say you don't know how to cook. So you learn from somebody that know how to cook.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple. God.
God.
Let's say you don't know how to do carpentry and build things or paint. You learn from somebody that know how to do those things, those skills. So you can add that onto your repertoire. God.
God.
Now the thing with cooking,
Time.
it's a benefit for Israel. Cooking clean stuff, righteous stuff, things that make you feel good, strong, healthy. Things with carpentry, that's what building. Christ was a carpenter.
God.
Joseph was a carpenter,
Salaki.
right? Hold on, King. Joseph was a carpenter, right? Paul was a tent maker, right? The stuff with food, fishing, gathering. Peter was a
Salakia.
fisherman. Hold on, Ak. Peter was a fisherman, right?
God.
These are so many different occupations, and they're all used to benefit the body, to benefit the nation, right? People help with gardening, herbs, building, understanding numbers, understanding finances, right? understanding how to get people together to work as a team. This is all part of gifts and talents of the Lord. Understanding how to keep people motivated, keep pushing, don't slow down. All right. Stay positive, even in this wicked captivity.
Oh.
Be hopeful. Right? We got better days ahead. These are all gifts of the Lord. Right? Zephaniah says Salakia.
Yes, like
Zephaniah, I think Joshua after. Go ahead, King.
yeah.
So about to close out, so we gotta.
I was going back over the Romans 12:6. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us. The gifts that everybody got different gifts, and we put all these gifts together and and build one body. It's that's man.
It's gonna be beautiful, man.
It's gonna be beautiful, man. You're right. It's gonna be beautiful. Have everybody having all these different gifts. When you put them together, you got a full body.
Huh?
You got a full body.
Yeah, it's healthy, operational. Everybody's moving together.
Exactly.
Everything is on point, right? All
Con.
praises. Go ahead, Joshua. Joshua, you there?
Yeah, Slaki. I was just gonna add on and say didn't Solomon help rebuild the temple, and he had to use mathematics and all those things pertaining to like carpentry work. I saw in the scriptures where it says he had to use that line with like a weight on it to get the straight lines. So yeah, I was gonna bring out that Solomon also helped with the carpentry work and rebuilding the temple. I yield.
Yeah, and check this. The Lord used David to gather the materials, and Solomon's job was for him to put it together and build it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of times, it's like with a business. A lot of times, you might not have the vision, but you got the resources. You might not have the business idea, but you have the resources.
Yes.
You have the connects.
Too, yeah.
Right? Hold on, please. Hold on.
Go ahead.
So you might have the resources and you might have the connects to get the money or whatever you need or the finances. And the person might have the idea for the business. So guess what? Y'all two come together. One got the resource, one got the vision and idea, and put it together, and y'all just created a business. Con? That works with a lot of things. One might have one thing, the other one might have the other, and they try to do things by themselves. It'll never work until they actually put it together. Why? Because the Lord wanted it that way. That's why. Right? And that's part of us learning to love each other, have compassion towards each other, understand to love your people, love your neighbor, and love yourself, and love the Lord thy God. Right? Everything we need, Israel, is right in front of us. It's right next to us, literally. It's our brothers and sisters right next to us. We just got to learn to communicate and put things together through the grace of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Go ahead, Zephaniah, before we close out.
Okay, so it's next door they're building another apartment buildings complex, right next door, and they use these machines to measure the length of the building, the width of the building, whatever. They use these machines, to measure this. And you think about it, back then when our people was building structures, they didn't have this. They did this from mind over matter. So they didn't have these instruments to do these things. They did this from sight. So it's like, man, I look at these Edomites like they need all these machines, but back then we didn't need this. It was just we just was gifted with this stuff, with these talents. I mean, man.
Yeah, and we still got them.
It still got them. You're right. You still got them.
Let's put them to good use. Con?
So like
Go ahead, sis.
I just want to say this last thing. I put 1 Corinthians 12:14 through 25 in the back chat, but it's really about how, like, there's a part of the scripture that really gets me, because it says that if let me put this a second. I just have you read one verse because it brings it out.
What verse you want?
1 second. Okay, so
You
okay, so
said
I
First
guess it'll
Corinthians
be
12 or
verses.
Romans?
It's 1 Corinthians 12. So I guess you can get verses 15 and 16.
All
Because
right.
it just speaks to how we all have a purpose and we all have a job to do, just like you were just saying. So,
Con.
yeah.
Yeah, bring it out. 1 Corinthians 12, verse 15 and 16.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 15. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body?
Mm.
And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body?
Con. Beautiful precept, sis.
Whoa, man.
We all
Beautiful.
need each other,
I praise the Most High.
right? Arm, leg, chest, neck, head. We all need each other. It's all part of the body. If your arm is jacked up, your fingers is hurt, you're going to feel it,
God.
right? Your leg is hurt, your toe is jacked up, you're out of balance. You start walking with a limp,
God, I can vouch for that.
right? Everything in your body is good and healthy, but your neck hurts. You're trying to turn left or right, and your whole body is hurting. You're about to die,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every part of the body is very important. Same thing with camp. If the cameraman ain't there, who's going to watch the camp?
God.
Right?
We need that cameraman.
Right. If the teacher ain't there, who's going to listen?
God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the reader's not there, who's going to read it out? Who's going to bring it out? I know a lot of teachers that's not good readers. I'm going to say that again. I know a lot of teachers, they're good with reading, but they can read and keep it to themselves when they're reading, but they're not good at pronouncing words when they're reading.
God.
But when they teaching, you're like, what the hell is this? This man is flowing. Look at that bad boy talking here and there, this and that. But when he reading, he's stuttering and hesitating, and you're like, what the? Is this the same dude?
Right, Con.
And then you put him back as a teacher, he flowing. You're like, what the hell is this?
Right?
Right?
Hey, Salakia. That's just like some rappers or singers can't write their own music.
God.
But they be flowing, though. They be going. You think they
They
wrote
be
everything.
flowing, man. Yeah. You be like, damn, what the hell? You think he wrote it?
Mm-hmm.
Then you find out somebody else wrote it. You're like, ain't no way in hell, nigga. That's his song. He wrote it. You know? But those are the ghostwriters.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Neo. So many songs Neo wrote for people.
Man.
And they sang it. Beyonce. So many songs.
Yeah.
But
Neo
Israel,
one of a kind, though. Neo can sing. Neo can sing and write them. He one of a kind.
Yeah. So
it's a blessing.
Everybody got a gift and talent, family. You know, we're all part of the body. Don't look at one and hate one over the other and think without this one, we good. Nah, everybody's important. But you got to make sure you want to play your role as well, too. But if the body is moving together in the spirit, that's a blessing for all. But if there's certain parts of the body that don't want to move in the spirit in unison, then you got to cut that part off. And while you cut that part off, guess what? The Lord going to replace that part with something better that could fit the body. John? So don't think you're so important that Without you, the body ain't gonna run. It ain't gonna move. That's what Saul felt. That's what he thought. Until the Lord replaced him with King David right in front of his face.
And used him to heal.
And used him. Imagine that.
Imagine that. So you can't help but love the man because he done healed you.
Right. The person you hate the most is the one you got to go to for help. And it be like that sometimes. When it comes to rebuke, you go to everybody else that you love because they gonna tell you what you want to hear. But the one you hate the most is the one that's actually gonna tell you the truth.
Okay.
Ain't that something?
Ain't that something?
So let's examine ourselves, Israel. Stay humble. Keep the laws and commandments. Do some reflection throughout the weeks. Look at what gifts and talents the Most High bless you with. Look at the passion the Most High put in your spirit. Manifest that. Search that. Look through your family history. Learn about that and use that to benefit the Lord, benefit your nation, benefit your people, and to benefit yourself. And don't be scared. Because like the Paula said, she has so many inventions in her mind. If she didn't want to put none of them, the Lord said, okay. Same thing happened with me to this day, man. So it happened to all of us, but we learn from it, we get better. God? So let's close out with the Lord's Prayer. And hopefully brothers and sisters was edified. Just wanted to do something a bit different. Q&A, more interactive with everybody, just learn a bit more about everyone. Let's grow, family. But yeah, to Paul and Zephaniah, I'll definitely hit y'all up. Most I will. Get some damn gardening going or something, man. We could eat some watermelons with seeds in it. I know that.
Salakia.
Good.
And if you don't know your talents, you better start working on it and figuring out what could they possibly be. Because somebody got to contribute something, anything. It doesn't matter at this point. I yield.
God.
Practice make perfect.
That's right.
Right. And don't let age throw you off neither. Even a lot of successful people, they didn't hit that breaking point to after a certain age, after 40, after 50, after 60.
Right.
So don't let that wear you down, brothers and sisters out there. I yield.
Hey, Con, cause I'm old as hell, man.
Hey, but remember, Abraham didn't hit that breaking point of getting Isaac until he was 100 years old.
Exactly.
See?
Keep pressing.
It's all on God's time, but you got to make sure you do your part. Con?
All
right. So let's close out with the Lord's Prayer. I'll pray you. How about Shemel Shah? I'll give you at least 30 seconds, so let's close it out.
Yeah. Face the east.
We'll praise Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, Shemai, Yesharallah, Yahweh, Allah Haynawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Abanawa, Shabashemayim, Wadash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakovka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashemayim, Natananawa, Laham, Hayawam, وصلحنا وخبوفنا وكصلحنا وخبوفنا والعاد بيينا بنسيوان أبال حوشينا ميان راي كيا لك هللكوا فحالا وتبرف لي ولم يم آمين. We ask you, how about Shemel Shah to please watch over us and guide us and protect us, to keep us safe, to heal those that are sick, to help those that are in need. Yahweh Shemel Shah, to increase faith in those that are of low morality in these times, to also show us miracles, Yahweh Shemel Shai, to strengthen us and guide us and protect us in our captivity, also to give us the spirit and the gifts and the talents you have blessed us with, to use in righteousness, to use to push your word, to also use to manifest things for the nation of Israel, to help bring out your word throughout the nation, throughout the four corners of the earth, to bring judgment upon the heathens, upon the wicked, to also keep us safe, and also give us the spirit to overcome our trials and tribulations for the kingdom of heaven. Dua de dua ve'olam. Amen. Ah. Shem Mashiach Yahushua.
Hashem Mashiach Yahushua.
Yeah, Uzziah, I'm be hitting you up, Ak.